Sunday, July 7th, 2019. We got a lot to cover today. Tornadoes, potential tropical storm development, heat waves in Alaska, forest fires, earthquakes. We got weather warfare full on. So first we're going to start out. We're going to look at the climate model here. This is the GFS, and see just what we got going on so far with this tropical storm. All right. Anything after 3 days out, I don't take too seriously. So we're going to end it like Wednesday right there. And we do have this mess hanging around the panhandle of Florida. And if you watch any of my stuff before, you know exactly what's there. Time and time, I mean, pretty much most storms last year, tropical storm systems came right up here in the panhandle of Florida. And what we have here is a PAVE PAWS unit, which is a phased array radar, part of the space fence. And like I said, a lot of these storms last year and the year prior had straight for this unit here. And not only do we have that unit there, now I was watching this video about space weather control with Chris Fontenot from A Microwave Planet and Jim Lee of Climate Bureau. Okay, and they start talking about why they sold Harp. Well, it's because they got mobile Harps now, and specifically on barges, and they call this the strawman HF array. Okay, now Mr. Billy Hayes, the Harp man, got built Harp, has told me about these in the past, that there is 12 of them that dispatch from the Eglin Air Force Base. Okay, so there's 12 of these. Here is my weather mod map at Google Earth. So we're going to zoom right in here. I'm going to show you where these dispatch from. And here is one of these strawman arrays. So these dispatch out into the Gulf. So we have all these Harps on boats out here in the Gulf. And I'm pretty sure they probably go up the coast to probably out in the ocean, probably, you know. As I was listening to this, they were talking about they're parked off North Korea, New Zealand, all kinds of other places. But the ones that I know about are here right in the Gulf. And they work in conjunction with your next rads and space fence. They heterodynamic phase, which can cause a rapid change in the density of the upper atmosphere. So I can almost guarantee you that this system does develop, it's gonna, well, actually they have it, so they have it rolling up the coast eventually, but they have it developing there right off the west coast of Florida, like so many other systems, time and time again. So we have that. And then yesterday, so we got the potential tropical storm, I believe they're calling it, Barry. And what we're going to see here is a lot of water vapor generation. Same time every day, mind you, you'll see these thunderstorms pop up and up. Yeah, we're about due for it right now. Same time every day, every day, every day. Now, you know what this reminds me of is this quote from this article I've shared this time before. Sulfate aerosols from burning coal can make clouds grow bigger and rainstorms stronger. There's documented evidence that thunderstorms in China vary on a weekly cycle in tune with factory schedules. And like I've said before, the weather here is so predictable. You can almost guarantee it to rain same time every day. Almost, you could bet money on it. Current watches and warnings today, tornado outlook. Yeah, speaking of tornado outlooks, we got Wyoming, Montana, and parts of the Dakotas, and northwest Nebraska. So we're going to take a look at the past 48 hours of tornadoes, and a lot have been happening in Wyoming the past week or so. I'll go back to my report from yesterday, from the thunderstorms that popped up yesterday afternoon. And from these storms, we did have one tornado that right here in New Jersey, from that storm, yeah, I call it a system or storm. From the, yeah. But anyways, we're gonna move right along here. Off to there's Shema Resonance now. It's been spiking like this. Once again, it was down for a while after months. It's like probably like a good month and a half of spiking, and now we're back into spiking. And if you went back a couple days, which you can't right here, you would see that it spiked, and it lines up with the earthquakes that had happened in California. Now, we always see this anytime a earthquake happens. We'll see the Shema Resonance kick. Now that's debatable if it's, what's cause and effect there. We have all these ELF, all these antenna arrays and transmitters that can create earthquakes. I can't prove it, but it always seems to line up fairly well. What else we got going on? As we're speaking of the heat wave, forest fires, we're gonna take a look at all these red ones are the bigger forest fires, and we're gonna take a look up here in Alaska because there's been a heat wave up here in Alaska. And I meant to open, I think I got the quote in my Facebook actually. But so here we have all these huge forest fires in Alaska. And I like this quote here from Bernard Eastland. Great areas of Earth can literally be frozen or fried at will by controlling movements of air masses, particularly near the poles where most of the Earth's weather originates in the form of high or low pressure air masses. So you got to figure if what they're doing is shoving cold air down, because there's record of them trying to melt the poles to get to the resources dating back 50 years. I guess if you look up Mr. Jim Lee's weathermodificationhistory.com, you can get a timeline on all this. And then, after a certain period, they started getting hush-hush about it. And then, after that, these systems here came into place. Now, we'll notice all the storm that drove through New Jersey last evening. We can notice all these interference spikes. I'm sure they're just random because usually you only catch them through these storms. And then this morning, we get this interference right here, and this is caused by the space vents heterodyning in phase with the next rads and other surrounding devices. And this current radar, look, we're getting these spikes right through these systems popping up in North Carolina right now. I think I got here's local summertime, this is the time of the year we don't get to see the sun. Look at these storms blowing up. And most likely what you're seeing here is a superheating process of some sort focused to intensify these updrafts. It already rained here today. I mean, it seemingly rains every day now. But, you can see right here. So I think about covered it all for today. It's looking like y'all might get a tropical storm down there in the panhandle, Florida, move it right up the coast. But other than that, I think I've covered it all. Oh, here's some smoke from a wildfire up in Canada, covering Lake Superior and parts of Michigan. So other than that, I hope you got something out of the video, and we will check back in at a later date.